Candace Owens finally receives her Negro wake-up call. Nah, really? I don't know. Video by O'Shea Duke Jackson. Is it happening? Are they finally turning on her?
Since the death of Charlie Kirk, there is nobody who has cast in more on this than Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we're all making some money off of the news and
right.
things that are transpiring. There is nobody.
Got to run up that bag. You know what I'm saying? He got to give reparations some way, somehow.
Actively making cash off this like Candace Owens. Let's look at the last few episodes. To my friend Charlie Kirk, 6.3 million views.
Jesus.
They are lying about Charlie Kirk, 8.2 million views. Charlie Kirk shooting suspecting charge, 5.3 million views. Who ordered the hit on Charlie Kirk?
Bro, she getting more views than Drake music videos. That's crazy.
9 million views. Okay, and now this title gives a lot of speculation.
3 videos about Charlie Kirk. Ugh. Getting a little greedy there, right? You know, Candace, that was supposed to be your brother in arms.
That Charlie Kirk wasn't just killed by Tyler Robinson. Charlie Kirk was killed by somebody else. Tyler Robinson just carried out the hit. Now, in these thumbnails, you see usually pictures of Netanyahu from Israel. And of course, it has been revealed that Charlie Kirk has some issues with Israel. And
supposedly,
Candace Owens has been implying that basically Israel is responsible for his death. Now, it's important to know that
that's
Owens
a big reach, I think.
and Kirk were once collaborators at Turning Point USA until she resigned in 2019 amid controversy over her remarks defending Adolf Hitler.
Right.
And their relationship had deteriorated due to her increasingly anti-Semitic views and criticism of Israel, which Kirk supported. So what this would have meant then is Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens were nearly not as close as she would like it to be or make it out to be. She's making it out to be like, oh, they're best of friends. He's the best thing that ever happened to her. But obviously, with her criticism of Israel, there was really no way that Charlie Kirk could be even seen hanging out with Owens that much since 2019.
For sure.
He was already in some trouble just hanging out with Tucker Carlson. And so Candace Owens would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, again, it's not only that she's been making these videos or live streams about Charlie Kirk. She's also been making tweets that Netanyahu and Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Okay?
Wow.
At least it's implied. I can't say she's trying to say that.
That's the thing with Candace, man. She's a full-blown conspiracy theorist. Full-blown, all the way. Flat earther, too. I mean, I don't know if she still believes in that after they debunked the flat earth with the final experiment in Antarctica they did last Christmas. She might not be anymore, I don't know. But she went there. Doesn't believe in dinosaurs, doesn't, all of it, bro. Thinks the earth is 6,000 years old. You know the spiel, man.
Implied. Let's look at him. Tucker Carlson just exposed everything Charlie was going through with his Jewish donors and what his true feelings were towards Bibi Netanyahu. Watch to comprehend how sinister the lies are the Zionist crowd is trying to tell right now. Messages exist, stop lying. Now, look at this one. Sorry, guys, you murdered my friend. You unlocked the Nigo Montoya in me. We're not stopping until we get to the bottom of this thing.
What? Get
Sorry,
to the
guys,
bottom of it?
You murdered my friend. Who are those guys? Because there's only
the strongest proof Candace Owens has provided to draw a connection between Israel and Charlie is the idea that Charlie turned down going to Israel. Turned down some money to go to Israel, and like there's nothing, and you're gonna see why it makes no fucking sense as we continue.
Guy that murdered Tyler
Oh,
Kirk.
and the fact that after Charlie died, Bibi was so quick to get up and be like, my good friend Charlie, we spoke about going to him coming to Israel and blah blah blah. Well, yeah, everybody, including Candace Owens, has capitalized on the death of Charlie Kirk. The publicity of it. I used it as an opportunity to gain more visibility and make some money. Everyone on the conservative right and also progressive people as well, and everybody in between. They're all cashing in on the death of Charlie Kirk, right? Including Candace Owens and including BB. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to make money, but he was trying to influence minds, right?
That's the guy by the name of Tyler Robinson. So what does she mean by "you murdered my friend"? Okay, let's continue looking at some of the other tweets. All Bibi Netanyahu had to do was not lie on Charlie's name in the aftermath and we wouldn't be here. But he has never been able to meet the challenge. So we see the Jews on the first tweet, no mention of the Jews in the second tweet. In the third tweet, we see Netanyahu's name. And then on the fourth tweet, Awesome Jew was also at the Hampton Summit. Of course, LOL. I'm just sitting here looking at this list, LOLing at them, attempting to spin this as a totally casual fling that was not about Israel. So 3 of the 4 posts that were written all within an hour talk about Israel, except for the "you murdered my friend." Now, Candace Owens is playing mind games here, guys. She's trying to say that you murdered my friend, but really we know who murdered the friend. And so people start calling her out on it. And then look at this tweet she posts here. It's crazy how I never once said that Israel.
And I'm going to tell you why it's really fucking stupid to suggest that Israel killed Charlie. As we continue, but let's let the video go.
Charlie Kirk, but the Zionists are repeating that without a shred of evidence. Remember, if they aren't lying, they aren't breathing. Candace.
And I'm no fan of Israel, just so you know. No fan of what they're doing over there in Palestine. It's absolutely terrible. Truly, a genocide is being committed. It's so crazy that these people have this land as in part because a genocide was committed against their people, right, by the Germans. And now look at where they are. But really, this is not surprising. This is not uncommon. If you've ever read The Animal Farm, a book by, I think it's by George Orwell. He wrote it. The Animal Farm, great story. You can listen to it on Audible. It doesn't take too long. But it's just a story as old as time of the oppressed becoming the oppressors. And that cycle just keep going and continuing. It's truly bizarre that this is how we are as humans.
What are you smoking on? Like, what are you talking about? You're literally implying that these guys killed Charlie Kirk, and now you're acting like somebody else is stupid, and now Israel is lying. Like, these are the kind of mind games that get people in a lot of trouble. And this is why she's over there getting sued by Macron's wife right now, implying that Macron's wife is actually a man. But more with that, all right? Now, obviously, people like Nick Fuentes is getting upset because, you know, Candace Owens is always saying like, oh, check out my next video for more information on YouTube. And she's getting hella views. She's probably making like $40,000 every video. Nick Fuentes is saying, is Candace Owens going to put all of her receipts about Israel's involvement in Charlie Kirk's death behind a paywall too? Show us the letter Kirk sent to Netanyahu and show us the receipts about his financial offer immediately.
Right, yeah. That's a big part of her argument, and we ain't seen it yet. Let's read that shit again. Is Candace going to pull all of her receipts about Israel's involvement in Charlie Kirk's death or put it behind a paywall? That's insane. Yeah, show us the letter Charlie sent to Netanyahu and show us the receipts about his financial offer immediately. Well, I would imagine that Charlie didn't actually send Candace, if she's not completely lying and making that up. Charlie probably didn't send Candace a letter, a copy of the letter. So he wouldn't have that, but okay.
And show us the receipts about his financial offer immediately. This is actually true. Like, she's not doing that at all.
I don't think she has it.
Why she isn't doing it?
She has no proof.
Playing the games, getting people to come over.
She doesn't actually have evidence. It's just hearsay for her.
YouTube channel to check out everything. And now people are making jokes. Look at this one. Subscribe to my show to see the text.
Yeah.
Basically, like, you know, making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, right?
And notice how none of the bystanders, whoever made this, none of them are black. They're all white. I mean, this person has a little bit of color in them, but point is, they see her as an outsider. That's it. And so the moment they start to not like any bit of you, they will start to completely reject you and mock you.
And then you see other people, and then you see like a lot of people.
Like, think about this. Think about how easy it is for us as black people who are in hip hop. Like, we enjoy hip hop culture. We're listening to the music. We're tuned in. how easily black people turn on a white rapper as opposed to a black rapper. You don't have that much fucking leash if you're a white rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say like literally anything that make it sound like you're not really with the culture, you're not really for black people, you're fucking cooked. As a black man though, you know what I'm saying? We got our Kodaks. You know, he over there doing whatever the fuck he doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a lot more leash as a black person to just be on some bullshit with black people. And so it's the same over there. She don't got a long leash at all. You know what I'm saying? And she's losing ground, bro. She is.
Feeling like this. And then there's this whole idea about Candace Owens not being allowed to speak at Charlie Kirk's memorial, which will be Sunday, September 21st, 2025.
Wow,
at
that's
State Farm
crazy.
Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's not a funeral.
That's crazy.
But it
You were
is
supposedly his close friend. Nobody's advocating for you to have an opportunity to say something.
basically a memorial. It'd be like 60,000 people there.
Sheesh.
But the question is, if Candace Owens is so like close to Charlie Kirk, why isn't she speaking?
Hearing about the pressure that's even happening with planning this event. And nope, you're right. You got me. I was not invited to speak alongside President Trump and JD Vance on the stage with Tucker Carlson at a memorial event. There's this memorial thing in Arizona, which is not a funeral. It's a memorial event. Okay. That is, by the way, in large part, from what I understand, being controlled by the White House. Trump is controlled by Zionists. So they're like baiting me here. Why would I be invited by anyone in Trump?
But is anybody in Charlie Kirk's camp on your side? Are any of them saying, yeah, Candace, go, go, go? She's gaslighting her audience into thinking the reason that she isn't being invited to do this is because Donald Trump is too loyal to Zionists. I don't think that's what's going on here. I'm sure that plays a part, but
Zionist administration.
I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone in Charlie's family really fucks with her like that. To be real with you,
speaking, it's common sense. They're not going to allow me to share the stage.
So she's calling Trump a Zionist, or he's supported by the Zionists. But it's incredible that Tucker Carlson is able to speak there. She mentioned his name.
Yeah.
She recently just did a podcast with Tucker Carlson. So Tucker Carlson has been critical
He gets to
of
speak.
Israel.
Wow,
especially
he has.
when it comes to spending money on, the war or funding Israel. He's basically said many times that, hey, we need to put our money towards our problems.
That's
and not
true.
Israel's problems. And yeah, a lot of people in Israel don't like Tucker Carlson, but he's allowed to still speak.
That's true,
Candace
bro.
Owens is following up with
Damn.
the
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. That makes it so much worse that Tucker gets it. It's almost as if Trump is specifically giving Candace Owens the middle finger. Now, Trump doesn't like Candace at all. You know what I'm saying? He, like many white conservatives, tolerates Candace, sees her as the useful puppet, useful pawn that she is. But here's the thing, a lot of these black conservatives have completely exhausted their usefulness. You know what I'm saying? These are people that have been strongly labeled as anti-black Uncle Tom sellouts. They don't have a lot of influence with black people at all. The second benefit that these sellouts provided to white conservatives is they could say the things that white conservatives weren't allowed to say. They could be racist against black people. They could push misinformation. But we now live in an era, the era of Trump, the era of MAGA, where you can say that shit. You can say that shit and nothing's going to happen to you. You're not going to lose your job. It doesn't matter if people call you a racist. It's okay. It's fashionable to be a racist now. And so what purpose, what usefulness do they have? They don't have much at all, really.
Community. A lot. And now a lot of these guys here are starting to come after Candace Owens due to her behavior.
I cannot
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
You
Here we
do
go.
not understand. I cannot wait. When we get the Bridget Macron vagine, when we get Bridget Macron bobs and vagine, those will be the most expensive ever purchased in history.
Wow, right. So here Nick is entertaining the idea that the wife of the prime minister of France is actually a biological woman. But if she ends up being a woman, Candace Owens, she'll be done, bro. It'll be over for her.
And I cannot wait. Was it worth it? Candace Owens is going back to the
like 2 back-to-back conspiracy theories that will end up being debunked. If she loses that, Charlie was not killed by Israel, bro. Obviously, you about to hear it. Check this out.
ghetto. She's going back to hanging out outside the corner store, outside the Kono store.
Here goes racism.
In a I don't know what accent that is. She's hanging out at the corner store with Unc on the lawn chair.
Now, this is a reference to what's going on with Bridget Macron, okay? So now, at the same time, while she's spreading these implied lies about Israel with no proof, she's also being sued by Bridget Macron, saying that she's a man. And then Macron, his wife, is willing to like show pictures of her, to prove that she's a woman and is a born woman, all right? But then there's more.
What you mean you don't take food stamps no more? I'm trying to buy food for my kids. I'm trying to buy food for my kids. What you mean you don't take DBT no more? What you mean you don't
it's so crazy? Because white people are the major recipients, the primary recipients of food stamps, right? Check this out. I know for a fact that this nigga got mad people in his audience, poor white conservatives, that are on food stamps, and they're laughing at this shit. The cognitive dissonance is insane.
Take food stamps no more. What you mean I can't get no food stamp?
As you can see, he's making fun of her, saying that she's gonna go back to the ghetto. She's gonna be with Uncle on the porch. And so now they're looking at Candace Owens, not even as a black conservative anymore, at least he isn't, but somebody who is basically adding no value to the conservative movement altogether. Then he says this.
All she did for the past week was gaslight the public. And by definition, that's what it is. Gaslight her audience, gaslight the public. Netanyahu lied. They shot him in the throat because they're taking his voice. I have all these receipts, but I'm not going to publish them.
Sure.
And then literally a week later, she's going to put on Twitter, I never said they were behind it. I never said that at all. I just strongly implied it.
Right.
We all know what you said. We all know what you meant. You dummy. You irresponsible, grifting dummy. I've had it with that. And at the end of the day, she's just and defines low IQ anti-Semitism. I used to think it didn't exist. I used to think that low IQ anti-Semitism is just something that people would say to counter the rising tide.
Well, all racism is low IQ. All of the arguments that Nick Fuentes, for instance, he uses to justify his racism against black people. He only lies. He only lies. He is so easily debunked. Every time he says anything, we quickly debunk him. It is.
Of people acknowledging power. Now I'm convinced it's real. And it has a name. That name is Candace Owens Farmer. Low IQ anti-Semitism. The idea that Charlie Kirk was silenced for being about to go against Israel.
Man, I hate agreeing with people I really don't like, but we're about to agree with Nick right here.
Just on its face, absurd and ridiculous.
Now, Nick Fuentes is no friend to the Jews at all.
Yeah.
He considers what she's doing as low IQ anti-Semitism. I mean, if there's anybody who would love to blame.
Now, the reason he calls it low IQ and the reason he calls it irresponsible is because whenever it's like the argument people make about women who falsely accuse men of sexual assault. Every time you do that, you make it harder for the next woman to be believed, even if she was actually assaulted. Same thing right here. If a lot of people get their impression of this anti-Semitism from Candace Owens claiming that Israel shot Charlie Kirk when it's such a ridiculous argument and there's no evidence of it and there are no connections to really be made there. They're just going to say, oh, you're just crazy. You're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You're a conspiracy theorist. And then they throw it all away. They don't want to entertain anything going forward in regards to, hearing shit about Israel.
The Jews.
And he's right here in regards to that. Now, I don't believe in anti-Semitism. I don't advocate for that, but I don't like what they're doing geopolitically.
For anything, it would be Nick Fuentes. But he just doesn't believe that because there's no proof. He's just using his logic and understanding that. And he continues with his position.
The idea that Israel's #1 cheerleader
Exactly.
on the right wing was somehow killed by Israel. Sorry, not buying it.
Who do they have now? Who's left? Now that Charlie Kirk is gone, who is the face of pushing Israel to conservatives, especially young conservatives? There's nobody. It's gone. It's, you know, look, that's why Bibi, he don't got that many options. That's why he's doing interviews with Brandon Tatum, who then talks about getting spat on by some Israeli kid, like a fucking moron, can't even grift properly, can't even shill right. He got to resort to that because he don't have that many options. Charlie was his golden boy. Charlie was his golden boy. Why would they take him out before he's even said a single negative thing about Israel? Even if they were suspicious, I'm sure they're watching him closely. But why do that? Why not wait until Charlie actually does something that goes against Israel? He didn't. He hasn't. So why shoot their golden mascot? That is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. If Israel wants continued support from America, they need to get the young white conservatives on their side. And Charlie was their only guy getting that shit done. Candace is against it. Nick Fuentes is against it. Myron Gaines is against them. Andrew Tate is against them. You know what I'm saying? What other big young conservative is for Israel? Come on, man.
People promulgating that idea, they're not even saying that.
So now he's saying, listen, look, nobody believes it at all. It's down bad. You're disgusting. Okay. Now, listen, how is it that Israel's #1 cheerleader was deleted by them? That's insane. Even if they were having problems, it would seem like they would have some level of opportunity to get him back on the right track. I mean, Netanyahu did invite him to Israel. But what is implied is that Candace Owens has a vendetta against Israel. And again, she's trying to spin Israel as the people that have a hit on him, and it's not true, and they're calling it out. And again, it's like she's just doing anything for views. And I mean, just because she dislikes Israel, that's one thing. But again, if you really like this man, this is your homeboy, this is your friend.
Nasty. It's nasty.
Why are you not focusing on?
That'd be like if Astral Dior, God forbid, something happened to him. You know what I'm saying? We're not even saying passing away. Just anything negative happened to him. And then I make 6 videos about that shit. Looks like you're cashing in there on your friend. It's nasty.
On the person that, you know, killed him. And again, this is all about money. Like, Candace Owens knows.
You think there was foul play? Do your investigation. You don't got to make a video every fucking step of the way. Do your investigation in complete totality. And then if at the end of it, you find a connection to Israel, bring it forth. You don't got to make 6 videos about that shit. You cashing in. White people, white conservatives, they're going to see through that. And they are. And that's why they're turning on her.
Who kills the guy? And again, she's not a FBI agent. You know, you don't go to school for this. You're a content creator just like I am. None of us are FBI. None of us are CIA. And then she's talking about the FBI. They're shady and all that. Okay, then like everything is a conspiracy theory. And it just becomes a point to where at a certain time, it's just annoying. You know, it's like, just shut up, man. Like, at what point do you think you're going to get that wake-up call that you're just really, really looking for right now? Like, you're really asking for that wake-up call. And then so once they give it to you, you can't come back to the black community. You'll be done. And she's just overstepping her boundaries like a lot. And you're already in the geopolitical space, a space where they don't need you to play in. Like, you're out of your comfort zone. Like, you're out of your expertise. Your expertise is hating on black people.
Right. Exactly.
But again,
should have just stuck to what you were good at.
You only do that for so long. Look at Fresh and Fit. You can only hate on blacks for so long until you got to get a new strategy, and now it's hating on Israel. The problem with hating on Israel is that they got money and they can find a way to get revenge. All right. Now, she's doing pretty good right now because the whites are supporting you. But hey, it's going to come to a time where you start coming after them too, and then it's game over.
But hey, that's the situation. She is definitely turning off a lot of her fans. A lot of her audience is looking at this and seeing right through it and seeing it for the grift, the money grab that it is. There is no real evidence. There is no strong connection. It's okay to be suspicious and do your investigation. But when it takes you 4, 5, 6 videos to accomplish that, not really making any progress, not really bringing forth anything meaningful, it looks nasty. And I think they see that and they're starting to turn on her. So what y'all think? You know, I think at the end of the day, all of these people, bro, every sellout is gonna run into problems eventually, because no matter how much you sell out, the audience that you are trying to pander to will never fully respect you or accept you as one of them. All right, I'll see you down in the comments. Until next time, peace out.